an offensive racial slur printed out on a receipt, then handed to a customer. The unconscionable act taking place at the Aviation Inn in Duncansville in Blair County. Alyssa Royster sat down with the woman who had to experience this hurtful incident, as well as with the inn's owners, to get answers.
On Thursday, May 18th, Cassie put in an order at the Aviation Inn.
I ordered a blackened chicken panini sandwich.
When she walked in to pick it up, she said the bar fell silent.
I had said, don't worry about me. I'm just here to get food and, just trying to break the ice.
As a woman of color, Cassie says she's sadly used to this treatment.
People kind of stare at you, being the minority and not the majority.
What she wasn't expecting was to see what had been written on her receipt, the N-word.
It was embarrassing to me. It was hurtful. I did not find it funny.
After calling the restaurant, Cassie was told by the owner the slur was intended to be a joke, just that she wasn't supposed to see it.
He did tell me that this was a joke amongst the kitchen, and he said it got out of hand.
Cassie says the owner claims he told the employee not to put it on the receipt.
But the employee told him because he's not racist that he could do that. He kept trying to justify for himself that he hangs out with different minorities and he considers himself in quotations a brother.
Offended and not wanting to just brush this under the rug, Cassie posted her story on Facebook, despite some reservations.
I was afraid of the backlash. I was thinking of the establishment as well. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want this to get out of hand. I also was afraid for myself.
While receiving messages of support,
asking if I'm okay or thanking me for what I did,
Cassie says she's also received ones telling her to watch out.
Will you be going back to the aviation?
No.
She does leave them with a word of advice.
Let's just do better.
After hearing what Cassie had to go through, I headed to the Aviation Inn to hear their side of the story.
An attempt at bad humor, this individual decided to put this on the receipt as, his way to describe what feature it was.
Owner Alan Booterbaugh admits the connotation was far from funny or acceptable.
We don't condone it. It's not who we are. It's never who we've been, I was blown away, completely blown away.
Blown away at a racist statement that was intentionally and manually typed onto the receipt.
Normally, that's not even written on there. Normally, it's a number. It is a number that comes back that corresponds to our daily features, and normally it's nothing is even written there.
But if something is, I'm told it's because a customer asked for a modification to their order.
Like no mayonnaise, no onions, no something, and we have it in the red ink so that it stands out.
In this case, the color served its purpose, going viral online. The negative light being something the owners say they don't appreciate.
Tell people about it instead of sharing it. Just talking to them, saying, hey, did you see what happened? Not going there again. Instead of sharing it and sharing it.
Gotten backlash. We've been getting calls or phone threats. So many messages via Facebook coming out. Borderline harassment.
According to Allen, the quote attacks shouldn't be.
These are supposed to be people to stop hate. Okay, they're creating it. That's the problem here.
And I feel why in this day and age is anybody allowed to say anything about anyone? And it's not people that we know. A lot of people said they've never stepped foot in here and they never will, and that's their opinion, but then they don't need to tie remarks to it as well.
This all comes after the Aviation Inn put out an apology, saying in part, "We want to make a public apology for the inappropriate language that was used on an order sent to our kitchen today. The staff member has been reprimanded for this behavior." NAACP President Andre Halsey says this apology wasn't enough.
I hear through the grapevine that the employee was not terminated until WTAJ called, which is interesting. I believe that the apology could have been more thorough. And just saying that I promote diversity or I hire minorities isn't enough. Actions speak louder than words. And obviously, for this to appear on a grill slip, This is a sustained period of action. Like, this isn't a singular incident. It's just one where the grill slip ended up in the bag.
Calling the incident
Appalling.
Halsey asks that the community go high despite the low incident.
The purpose of all of this is not to sink one individual's life. We don't want to restrict the business from being able to operate in the community or that individual from being able to live their lives. We want them to realize that what they did was wrong, but we also want to build them up to continue to do right in the future.
To help move everyone forward, Halsey says the NAACP will be conducting an investigation into the incident, in which he hopes to sit down with the owners of the inn to come up with policies to prevent this from ever happening again. Reporting for WTAJ News, I'm Alyssa Royster.
WTAJ has confirmed the employee who wrote the slur on the slip has been terminated, and Cassie says she did receive an apology from the owner only after the post was shared hundreds of times, adding she was the one that had to call him.